Hey, good morning. This is Joe from Citrus County Porch Life, bringing you the Daily Word for Men for March 20th, 2025, a Thursday. And the word for today is diligent. Because he loves me, says the Lord, I will rescue him. I will protect him, for he acknowledges my name. He will call upon me, and I will answer him. I will deliver him and honor him with long life, and will satisfy him and show him my salvation. And this is the commentary. He served his country in World War II at 19. He was a chaplain, and with diligence every day he prayed Psalm 91 over himself and his men. When the enemy attacked, he saw God's protection and guidance in his decision. After the war, he married and moved into a community of believers. There he worked every day for the rest of his life with little to no compensation except the roof over his head and food on his plate. He didn't complain about his life. He loved it and served others well. Each weekday would start out the same: breakfast with others, then down to his shop to start work, but not before prayer and a short Bible study, then lunch, maybe a short nap, the Bible again, and back to work until dinner. On time in the evenings and on weekends, he would build or fix things for other people, and he would only take compensation if it were forced on him. He died at the age of 98 with Psalm 91 having been read to him in his final moments. If he had another name, it would have been diligent servant. And what can you give of yourself to others that would diligently serve others? Well, one of the most precious things we have is time. Time, because we don't know how much time we have left, and even if we have 100 years, it's a very short time to be on this earth. And also my knowledge. I've learned things along the way that I can share. I was trained in mathematics, and I share that with students. I don't charge. I work for the library as a volunteer. It's called a literacy volunteer, but I don't teach reading. Included in literacy is numeracy. That means a familiarity with numbers and how to use them. Very basic level, so that you can get by in this world and not have people take advantage of you, but enough to give you an interest. If you want to go on, you've got a good basis, and you can further your knowledge. I'm currently teaching a young man who's had a very rough life, who lives with his grandparents. In fact, a couple of weeks ago, his grandparents' mother moved in with him. She's 98, and she fell, and he had to miss a class to help his grandparents with her, make sure she didn't fall again. And it's a very tough life, but he hasn't given up. And I told him there's no expiration date on the class. I'll help him for as long as it takes for him to get a GED. He wants to become a plumber, and they insist that you have a GED. So I think that relieved him a little bit, that he was falling behind. If it takes 2 years, that's fine with me. If the good Lord gives me the time on earth, fine. So Paul makes it clear that we all have gifts, each one of us. And I think I've grown in gifts. Patience. I've definitely grown in patience. And that was a big one. I was very, very impatient. Delays would drive me crazy. Well, I'll give you an example of someone pushing my buttons, and it just happened this weekend. I am a diabetic and I need insulin, and they sent my prescription to the wrong pharmacy. And she asked me the address of the pharmacy, and I told her, no, that's incorrect, that's not the address of the pharmacy. But what can I do? If it was 20, 30 years ago, I would have flipped out and let everybody in the world know how wronged I was and made a scene probably at the doctor's office. But I'm going to try to fix it Monday and, see what happens. I don't have that fight in me anymore. I just don't. And I love, this is a wonderful psalm. They're all good. They're all very good. And there's little pairings here. He loves me. I will rescue him. I will protect him. He acknowledges my name. He will call upon me. I'll answer him. I will deliver him, honor him. With long life will I satisfy him. Well, I'm past my expiration date for a person with type 1 diabetes. Nothing I can do to get rid of it. It's just totally genetic disease. And I made it through a working career. I made it into retirement. I made it to Florida, where I always want to move when I got older. I have a very nice small house, so God's blessed me very much. And I don't have any complaints at all in that way. But each and every person's gift is important. Paul explains it as part of the body, saying there are some that seem insignificant. Tiny little, say like an endocrine gland somewhere in your body, and you never even knew you had them. But he says these are the most important things. And so that's what I give, my time and my knowledge in myself when I visit the nursing home. But the visits by my church are exactly the same days that I do the tutoring. So I've had to take a step back, but whenever I don't have a class, then I join the people in my church to go to the nursing home, and I love it. I love it, singing the songs. Everyone's so happy. Monday, I won't be able to be there. I'm either going to be in class with my student or home because my roof is being delivered. So not much you can do about that. But these are wonderful things that God does when we acknowledge him and love him. And all these Psalms are love stories about God from King David. Then I think of Psalm 51, the great confessional hymn, the psalm, well, hymn too. The Psalms were hymn, they were sung. And how absolutely beautiful the wording is. So, before I drag on too much, God bless. Have a safe and holy Thursday, and we will talk to you tomorrow.